Hi everyone, I'm Rob Levin, and I want to give a shout out to all the Work Better Now assistants, to the Work Better Now team, and of course to our clients. Everybody else, thanks so much for watching. Over the past few years, we've had many people ask about how Work Better Now has come about. So Andrew and I decided to record this video of our story. And just
How's
to
everyone
start
doing?
things off, to start things off, I call him AC. I've been calling him AC for just a little while. AC, say what's up?
How you guys doing?
Right. So the story starts quite some time ago, way back in 1988, when AC and I met our freshman year of college at SUNY Albany, where we ended up pledging a fraternity together. AC, why don't you take it from there?
Actually, that's where I got my name, AC. There were two other Andrew Cohens in the fraternity at the same time, and we had to all get nicknames. Yep, we went to college together at SUNY Albany. After graduating, Rob and I were both moving to the city, and Rob was working with one of the big six firms, and I was working with Bear Stearns, an investment banking company at the time. And so together we moved into Manhattan and lived that life. I realized shortly after that I had to get out of the cold weather, and I made my way out west and got into the film business where I was working as a vice president of production and producing films, movies of the week. In which Rob said to me after coming to visit a couple times, I'd never move out there. And so, of course, what happened?
Of course, what happened is I ended up going to, after working at an accounting firm for a few years, decided I wanted to get my MBA. And where did I end up going? I ended up going to UCLA, which was pretty funny. So I guess I did move out there. So I lived there for a couple of years. AC and I would usually hang out over the weekends. After getting my MBA, I moved back to New York. This was around 1997. I worked in a few fast-growing businesses as a CFO, COO, CEO. And then after the last job I had, which was a terrible experience, that's a video for another time, I decided to start my own company called the New York Enterprise Report. Actually, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. Can you guys see that? Does that come out?
We
Yeah.
can.
We were a media company for small businesses in the New York area, and print magazine, events, a lot of digital stuff. And my world became this world of business owners. We were kind of this company I created was kind of at the center of it with the events we were doing and all of that stuff. Um, and also started to work with a lot of large brands that were marketing to small businesses. Anyway, during that time, right around that time, or right before that time, I got married, had my first kid right around my first kid, Mateo, right around when I started the magazine in 2003. And really focused on growing that business, growing that media business. And AC, what were you doing? Refresh my memory. What were you
So
doing at that time?
yeah, so I got out of the film business back in the day, and I started following my entrepreneurial passions, and that actually led me to consulting for the Small Business Development Center under the SBA, as well as the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses. So I got entrenched in the small business world as well, and so that's where Rob and I sort of had these conversations about small business.
And I had a client in Portland, Oregon. Um, this was, I think, in 2018 or so.
Yeah.
And I called AC, said, "Hey, I'm going to be in Portland. Do you want to come meet me?" And then what
And
happened?
yes, and so I fly out to Portland just for a weekend of hanging out and having fun, and we're in a bar, of course, kicking back a couple of scotches, and lo and behold, Rob started talking about virtual assistants, and I think Rob, what was that situation you had with a friend of yours or a business associate where you were in the streets?
Right, right. So this goes back to 2012 or 2013. I was walking in Manhattan and somebody stopped me, said, "Aren't you the guy, Rob Levin with New York Enterprise Report?" He said, well, I knew him. I knew of him. His name was Scott Gerber, still is his name, Scott Gerber, very good friend of mine today. At the time, he had started something called YEC, an amazing community of entrepreneurs. And he said he wanted to run something by me. And I totally forgot about this part. And
Yeah.
he said, "Look, I want to run this thing by you. Are you up for a call?" I said, "Sure." He said, "Have your assistant call my assistant. I'll give you my assistant's info. And I said, I don't have an assistant. And he said, what? Rob Levin from the New York Enterprise Report doesn't have an assistant? He said, look, here's my number. Just call me. We're going to find a time to talk. And I did. And he was kind of not yelling at me, but he was telling me how crazy I was not to have an assistant. So I said, okay. And he pointed me in the direction of a company, and I hired an assistant. That assistant, I was with me for about a year. And then I ended up replacing her with a woman named Jessica, who we're going to come back to in a second. So let's go back to the bar, right?
So we're at the bar, and we're at the bar.
Whiskeys.
Yep, and we're sipping some whiskeys or scotches, and on the back of a napkin, I think we wrote, "Every business should have an assistant." And it comes back to a Jack Daly quote, which said, "If you don't have an assistant, you are one." And it couldn't be truer. So, at that time, it was just Rob, myself, who decided to move forward with this business, and we had Jessica, who was Rob's assistant at the time, and it was just the three of us, and we started this company called Work Better Now, because we knew that our mission was to be able to provide every business owner with an assistant at the time.
Yeah. And then let's see what happened. Oh, then what happened was COVID. COVID happened. And COVID, I always said COVID was really a great accelerator in business. Like whatever, all these things that were going to happen maybe a few years down the road were now happening. And one of those things was everybody now got comfortable with remote, or almost everybody. And we got a lot more requests for assistance. So Jessica, we realized that we needed a lot of help. So Jessica went from being my assistant to the general manager of the business. And really her and AC, me pretty much in the background, started building out the company. And another thing started to happen at the same time. We now had dozens and dozens of clients. And we found that our clients were hiring more than one assistant. This was all clients. This wasn't anything on our end. And we were then, looking into the details, and they were hiring marketing coordinators. And their original assistant usually went on in a different role, like a marketing coordinator or project manager. And they would hire another virtual assistant, and then they would hire another person for project management. And then depending on the industry, would hire for all these other roles. We now today have some clients with 6, 7, 8, 9 assistants, and of course they're much more than assistants. I've done a lot of cool things in my career, the media company being one of them, and I have to say this is by far the coolest thing I've ever done.
The most rewarding.
It's by far the most rewarding. Our VAs are doing meaningful work. They're making more money than they were making previously, a lot more. We have this amazing team, and I give all the credit to AC to building that team. That's helping us, and our clients, several of which are very good friends of mine, are telling me that because of the people that we're providing, it's changing their business, changing their lives. It's
saving their businesses really through the hard time as well.
Yeah, it's so exciting. So on video, I'm going to first say thank you to my partner AC, who when I mentioned this crazy idea in a bar in Portland, said let's do this, and then really did a lot of the hard work to build the business.
Well, thanks, Rob. I really have to agree with you that, I've produced movies.
You did all the work?
No. I've produced movies, and this is still the most gratifying thing I've ever done. I really feel like we're changing lives. We started again with Rob, myself, Jessica, and an idea, and now we have 20 direct staff for WBN, 20 people working directly for us. We have over 240 VAs, and we're growing every month.
Yeah. And by the way, other than 2 people we have here in the States doing sales, everybody on our team, other than AC and I as well, is located in Latin America, many of which from the same pool of VAs that our clients tap into, which is also really cool. So we're going to close with some fun facts. So AC, what's a fun fact? What's a fun fact about AC, or 2 that nobody Nobody
I'm
knows.
gonna tell you the funnest fact I have. I am actually an avid poker player, and I've won a bracelet at the World Series of Poker and many, many tournaments as well. But I really feel like the skills that I have learned and created in poker have really translated to business. And I'll tell you, it's being able to make decisions based on the information you have in front of you, making the best decisions you can with the limited amount of information. And that's a skill that I take from poker to business on a daily basis.
Well, you've not only, I don't know if I missed it, but you're not only a poker player, you've won a World Series of Poker bracelet.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, you
I've won
did.
a
I missed
bracelet.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. So, very cool fun fact about AC. My fun fact, I'm gonna go with the fact that I produced a lot of cool concerts in college. Bob Dylan, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Cheap Trick, Meatloaf, Fishbone, the Radiators. For you New Orleans Jazz Fest fans, AC and I both go to Jazz Fest
Love it.
every spring. Um, yeah, and I'm also a guitar player. Gave AC a couple of my guitars over the years. He's
Yes,
still
he
catching
has.
up, but he's getting there.
Oh, I'm terrible. But I love to watch Rob play. That's one of the things we share a couple whiskeys again, and he plays all the tunes for me.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks to everybody for watching this. Once again, thanks to our assistants, to the VA pool out there. You guys just make us proud every day. I love hearing, love running into friends, catching up with friends, telling them about the great job you're doing. Thanks so much for our team that makes all of this happen, and our clients who have the put a lot of faith and trust in us. And thanks to my partner AC.
Rob, thank you, buddy.